Jazz with a 2-point victory at the buzzer. It was like a title game, but not really. But the Cavs are still struggling to find their chemistry, even though they are just 4 games into the season. LeBron had 31 points. Kyrie Irving had 34. Kevin Love 14. But here's a glaring stat. Irving had 0 assists last night and 7.
Only 6 assists as a team tonight. Is that a little bit of a concern going forward?
No. I mean, we have great players on this team, and whether it's sometimes things happen in the game where you see a shot and you have to take it. Me and Bron saw that at the end of the game, and guys, we gave guys ample opportunities. We all weren't hitting. Especially when we're going our swing action, and it's going to happen like games like this, but we have to try to avoid it as best we can.
It's not a. Rome wasn't built in a day, and we understand that. And you have to continue to work the process. And you hate to lose, obviously, as competitors. But we felt like tonight we proved and improved in the second half that we're capable of playing some good basketball. I don't really get involved in the expectations. Our own expectations is us to continue to improve every game, get better every day. I think we didn't get better in the first half, but we improved in the second half.
Only 6 assists as a team. Stephen A., please tell us, what do you think happened last night?
Well, what really happened more than anything else, everybody keeps pointing to the assist or the non-assist registered by Kyrie Irving. He's supposed to be your point guard. He has 0 assists. I got news for y'all. That's not the problem. The problem is that it was a lackluster effort last night against Utah until crunch time. The Cleveland Cavaliers appeared very lackadaisical, unenthused, uninspired, and that's what came flagrantly forward. And I'm going to put this on LeBron James from this perspective, Skip. I'm going to say this to you. You've got young guys on this squad mixed with veterans. You've got to bring that together. You've got a coach who's a novice, who's never won anything or achieved anything on the NBA level. You have a front office in Cleveland who basically has done the same. This is all on LeBron because he's the only guy that knows how to do it. Now, that doesn't mean that he's at fault because it's too early to point the finger of blame. But it is not too early to highlight what the problems are and what needs to be done and who's the person most qualified to fix it. And that's going to be LeBron James. Not by him scoring, not by him putting forth the Herculean effort that we've grown accustomed to seeing. But LeBron is playing a different role. When he arrived in Miami, Dwayne Wade was already a champion. Dwayne Wade knew what it took, and Dwayne Wade was there like the figurative big brother, sort of guiding and helping elevate LeBron James to even another level. In this particular instance, it's all on him. There is nobody around to teach LeBron anything. Because even the guys like a Sean Marion, for example, that are on the court that have won championships at the same time, because their role is relatively limited compared to what it once was, and LeBron is the king who's returned home. It's really on him right now. And the reason why I say it like that is because of this. You can be a bit discombobulated. You can be a bit disoriented. You can be a bit disorganized and all of that stuff. That kind of stuff is about the coach. And he's going to have to step up and show his mettle and show what he can do. The organization is going to have to help him. But when it comes to effort, I have to look at LeBron and say, you got to make sure those brothers are out there giving it their all every play the way we are accustomed to seeing LeBron do. That is the one thing that you don't need the coach or the general manager or the owner to intervene about. LeBron James is qualified and has the credentials to sit there and look at a Kyrie, a Dion Waiters, an Anderson Varejao, or Kevin Love. Not to say I'm not saying specific names who seemed lackadaisical. They all seemed lackadaisical. But I'm simply saying that the guys that you know that you're going to need, LeBron James does not need veterans and other folks to help him demand max effort. He's the star. He's the king. He's the 2-time champion. He's the 4-time league MVP. And he's the proverbial owner of this city. You can hold these other guys accountable when it comes to effort. Because what I saw last night was shabby, to say the least. Half those guys on that squad should have been pretty damned ashamed of themselves the way they came out there with that effort. They looked lazy.
Okay, quick question before I get to my points. If I recall, on this show yesterday, weren't you a little bit disparaging of, disrespectful of the Utah Jazz and their chances last night? Shouldn't we give them a little bit of credit for what they did pull off?
Yes, they deserve credit, Skip Bayless, because they got some young talent that I underestimated, and I give them props for that. But I'm still pointing to effort, because if Cleveland had put forth an effort, who knows what would have happened.
Okay, fair enough. I do agree with you, especially about last night's first half. It was weird, it was bizarre, it was flat out strange to watch LeBron James on occasional possessions actually walk away from the action. Like, I got no use for y'all. I'm out. He would walk away from Kyrie's action on the other side of the court. On a couple, 2 or 3 plays down the court, LeBron didn't even try to get back on defense. Well, that's not LeBron James. That's not the guy we've known for years and years, the perennial MVP candidate. But as you point out, down the stretch, they all turned it up. Kyrie was sensational in the fourth quarter. And LeBron, let me point out, it looked like with 27 seconds left, LeBron had blown the game, or at least not won the game, because he drove on Gordon Hayward and forced up a shot that it looked like Hayward got a piece of because it didn't even hit the rim off the backboard. So it looked like the game was going to end. And what did LeBron do? He made a high degree of difficulty three-pointer out of the corner off a loose ball. We've seen him do that before because it looked like the game was over at that point, 98-94. And then, Stephen A., before I get to my big point here, I got to give LeBron James big props because I have often criticized him for shying away from the free throw line in late-game situations because we all know, we've heard this from many analysts, LeBron hasn't been the most confident free throw shooter in his career. And he pump faked and drew the three-point foul from Derek Favors and had the guts, I'm giving him the guts, to walk up to that free throw line in a hostile arena in Utah where he's had one nightmare after another over the last 5 years. And he didn't make 2 of them. He made all 3, and they were pretty much nothing but net. Way to go, LeBron James. And then, of course, Gordon Hayward canceled all that by losing LeBron off the pick. I don't know what happened to LeBron. He tripped off the pick and fell down. I don't know what happened. But Hayward got loose to the right and made a hellacious great shot over Tristan Thompson to win the game. Congratulations, Gordon Hayward. I'm not the biggest fan, but that was a big-time game, and who knows, maybe that's a breakthrough for you. But, Stephen A., here's my point. Help me out here. I am seeing an early power struggle between the great LeBron James and the soon-to-be great Kyrie Irving. Remember, Kyrie, MVP of the last All-Star game, MVP of the FIBA World Cup tournament this last summer. He is coming. This is I've been around him a couple times, had him on the show before. He's a strong-willed, tough-minded young man who is his own man. I think he has absolutely zero awe for LeBron James. He's not impressed. He doesn't care. I think if you ask Kyrie, if you put him on a lie detector, Kyrie right now would say he's a little better offensive player than even LeBron James is. So, yeah, he's a shoot-first point guard, and he's trying to show LeBron this is his territory. I mean, it's hard to score 34 if you're the point guard with 0 assists. And I think he's trying to send a message. He is going to do what he does with the basketball in his hands. Go ahead.
Well, first of all, Skip, you got to give LeBron a little bit more credit in this respect. I don't think there's any kind of competition because LeBron James wouldn't dignify that with a response because what would Kyrie Irving be in a position to compete with him about? He doesn't have the credentials or the resume. He, combined with Dion Waiters, and I like Dion Waiters a lot too, they've won a combined 57 games over the last 2 years. As far as I'm concerned, from a basketball parlance, you're still wearing diapers. Or you're in no position to question LeBron James. And I don't think LeBron James would insult himself by coming across as if he's competing with Kyrie Irving. If anything, LeBron is trying to defer to some degree to uplift those guys and to let him do his thing and to let him know. You got to remember, we've continuously recognized that LeBron James may be the most unselfish superstar we have seen, maybe ever. So let's keep that in its proper perspective, Skip. Where Kyrie Irving comes into play is that Kyrie Irving can ball. He is a big-time player. He can flat-out ball. He's got loads and loads of confidence. He ain't shaken by anything. But what Kyrie Irving needs to realize is that that same thing that is such a plus can also serve as an impediment to his success based on what I talked to you about yesterday, Skip, which was this. I talked about his body language. I talked about how he seemed a bit aloof, how he seemed a bit distant, uninspired, devoid of fervor, etc. What I mean by that is, of course, Kyrie Irving's going to go out there and ball. The difference is, if you're not that inspired, it begs the question why. Because you're focused on you. LeBron's focused on winning. LeBron's focused on the team. LeBron doesn't have to focus on himself because he's already accomplished a lot in this game. So the whole objective is about winning. Whereas with Kyrie, it's about establishing himself as a bona fide star in this game, somebody to be reckoned with. And, oh, by the way, I'm not just going to hand the keys to this franchise to just LeBron because LeBron is lucky to have me, too. There's a different agenda there, too. And I'm not calling it selfish or anything like that because I got nothing but love for Kyrie's game. I'm simply saying that you have to recognize that he's young and he's trying to prove himself along the way. LeBron doesn't have that issue.
Okay, exactly. Exactly my point. I agree with you. It is way beneath LeBron's dignity to try to compete with Kyrie Irving. But Kyrie is trying to mark his territory early to say, hey, I'm going to keep doing what I do. Because, Stephen A., he's a different breed of cat is Kyrie. He's not, there's no awe for LeBron James. And I'm not saying he's disrespectful. He's not overly respectful. That's the point. He doesn't care who LeBron is or what he's done. This is new breed. He's saying, I'm going to keep doing what I do.
Yeah, but Skip, Kyrie's that way with everybody. He's competing in the summer.
I agree.
And he's calling out Kobe. You see what I'm saying? They're getting in a playful argument with Kobe. He's got that.
I agree.
So again, it's not.
I'm with you.
It's not a negative. It's not a negative. It's just a process that you have to go through when you have a mixture of young guys and veterans guys who are accomplished, guys who are not. These are the challenges that come along with it, and it's okay. But it doesn't mean that while it's okay, you ignore how it can be an impediment to your success. Kyrie Irving, at some point in time, is going to have to be comfortable enough with his own individual greatness to recognize he, too, should take a step back because he doesn't have as much to prove as he may think he has to prove. That's what he has to recognize.
Okay, but bottom line, this is going to be an ongoing issue and problem for LeBron because I don't think it's going to be easy for him to reach Kyrie and have a meeting of the minds, to have a peaceful coexistence. I'm just not sure it's going to be an easy click between those two, and it will be Kyrie's fault, not LeBron's fault.
All right, let's leave it there.
That is absolutely correct.
Stephen A., let's leave it there. To your point, LeBron did admit to the media in the losses he has been very passive. He says there's a thin line and he's still, quote, trying to figure it out. When we come back,